With the Royal Rumble wrapped up, we just seen our winner of the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble is Jay Uso. Obviously, that's not the only match of the night, and we're going to get to that later on. But let's start with the Women's Royal Rumble. The return of Charlotte Flair. She is your Women's 2025 Royal Rumble winner. Last eliminating Roxanne Perez. What do you think of the Women's Royal Rumble in total?
Yeah, the women's rumble was kind of ridiculous. It was just amazing. I mean, it started off with Io Sky and Liv Morgan at 1 and 2. Great 1 and 2. They lasted essentially the entire match until Nia Jax eventually came in and kind of got a big group elimination with a bunch of people who were on the outside. I mean, we seen Roxanne Perez at number 3. Jada Parker came in. Eventually, Jordan Grace comes in. Alexa Bliss is the biggest return, even more so than Charlotte to me. That pop was amazing. I felt really good just seeing her back. Just her vibe and just everything was great with Alexa Bliss's entrance, and that's definitely my highlight of the entire night. Honestly, is Alexa Bliss returning. I'm very, very, very excited for that. So yeah, that's very amazing. Stephanie Verker was in here. Julia was in here. Yeah, I'll let you kind of speak about your high points, but those were a lot of mine.
Yeah, for me, I think my biggest high point is just the inclusion of the NXT Women's Division. I think a lot of people know, or at least have the same opinion as me, as that the NXT Women's Division is the best, probably in professional wrestling right now. I don't think there's many better. And they showed we had Lash Legend, Roxanne Perez, Jada Parker, Stephanie Vacher, Julia, all NXT current people. You can also throw Jordan Grace, who's technically a NXT person. But yeah, I mean, just a phenomenal division. And yeah, I'm glad they got the inclusion. We also had the appearance of Trish Stratus, which was really cool. I love seeing her. But another Hall of Famer, the return of Nikki Bella, which is really nice to see. Unfortunately, everybody wanted AJ Lee to show up at here at number 30. But we got Nikki Bella, and I feel bad because of the expectations, and you know, it's kind of a letdown, even though it's really not. I mean, no disrespect to Nikki Bella, she's phenomenal. I'm very happy to see her back in WWE. Hopefully, it's long term and not just a one-off.
Yeah, I do believe she will be back long term, but I agree with everything you said about this is the NXT showcase right here. Damn near every woman on this Royal Rumble came from NXT in some sort of way or has some sort of connection to NXT, and it just kind of showcased how just good it is, and honestly how young it is too. When you really look at the Royal Rumble entrance, as obviously there's people like Trish Stratus and stuff like that, but the majority of them are fairly young, and that's kind of a showcase of WWE's future coming up.
Yeah, I mean, and another thing to add as well, they kind of made this Rumble seem really competitive, and you know, we had 15 women in the match at one point in time. I don't think we've ever seen that in the Men's Royal Rumble. Maybe I'm wrong, so you can correct me in the comments, but yeah, you just seemed really competitive. You didn't know who was going to win. But once Charlotte came in and she got to the Final Four, you kind of knew that, hey, can't beat Charlotte when it comes to these big-time matches, especially, like you said, in her return, she ain't losing. But yeah, really good Women's Royal Rumble. Really enjoyed it. Easily going to be the better Rumble out of the two, to give you a spoiler ahead of the video. But yeah, next up, though, we had the DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns 2 out of 3 Falls tag team match, where DIY does come out on top and return the belts. But how did it get there?
Yeah, essentially Motor City had the match won. They're going to get that kind of final pin. I believe they were going for the whatever the move's called, the old tag team move, whatever. But he goes for it, but the Street Profits come in and attack Motor City. And for a while, you're kind of like, oh, okay, so DIY probably made like the decision with them to kind of help them out, and then they'll give them a future title shot or something. But as DIY celebrating, walking down the ramp a little bit, they also get attacked by the Street Profits. So it's just a full-on heel turn by the Street Profits, and I'm very much excited for it. Unfortunately, though, for the match itself, it didn't really live up to my expectations. I'm not going to say the match was bad by any means necessary, but my expectations were very, very high, so that's just on me majority. But yeah, it did let me down just a little bit, but I'm very excited for the future of what the story is going to tell between these three teams.
Yeah, I'll kind of start with Street Profits returning here. Definitely love the repackaged idea and the repackaged identity of the Street Profits. I definitely think there are going to be the ones that are going to take the belts off of DIY at this point. Hopefully, this means a big triple threat tag team match between the three teams. I think that's kind of inevitable at this point. But yeah, that was really cool. And yeah, I just think that really, from here, obviously DIY are probably going to have one or two more matches before we actually see Street Profits. But yeah, I definitely think this is a match I'm going to have to rewatch by itself in a few days just to kind of relax, kind of get away from the Royal Rumble and see how good this match truly was. I think it was better than what I think it is, or think it is right now. I just need to give it a rewatch.
Yeah, I think there'll kind of be a lot of title swaps with these tag titles leading into Mania, and then finally at Mania we'll probably get some sort of big mashup tag team match as we usually see on most Manias. Yeah, I'm very excited for the future of the tag team division. I'm not mad at the match whatsoever. Just let me down just a little bit.
Yeah. Next up, though, we had Cody Rhodes defending his Undisputed World Champion against Kevin Owens, Winged Eagle Undisputed World Champion, where Cody Rhodes does manage to claim both titles and is your Undisputed Champion. This match, really, really good. Really enjoyed it. A lot of high spots, not too much downtime in the match. Kind of almost non-stop action almost. But yeah, pretty good match. Really liked it.
Yeah, right at the beginning off rip, we see kind of the ladder on the entrance get knocked over and it's laying down while open, and Cody Rhodes gets slammed on like the connecting bars that connect the two sides of the ladder. Brutal spot right there. There was another point where he gets a fisherman driver off the top turnbuckle through the ladder as well with Cody Rhodes. But the big spot, the winning spot of the match. I guess before I get to that, I'll mention this. Sami Zayn comes out during this whole commotion towards the end here. After the fisherman, I believe he comes in and he's kind of checking on Cody. He's checking on KO, but kind of leaning more towards KO and helping him a little bit. Kind of helping him up and giving him words of advice or whatever it is. But Cody Rhodes, they're kind of fighting on the announce table. Kevin Owens goes for a package pile driver on a bridged ladder between the announce table and the ring. But Cody Rhodes reverses it into an Alabama slam through the ladder long ways. And that's pretty much how he wins the match. Kevin Owens completely folds up after that. He's basically kissing his own ass at that point. And Cody Rhodes goes on to win. Sami Zayn checking up on his friend, and he's bloody and he's beat down. We kind of get like Sami Zayn staring off at Cody a little bit. Kind of, is that a hint into the future? What do you think?
Yeah, this match, just to kind of start with that, I mean, I really like this match, like I said. The spots were insane. As for Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, I don't know. I mean, obviously in the Royal Rumble, we'll kind of talk about it. Obviously, Sami doesn't win the Royal Rumble match. So for him and Kevin, I think we might see a little bit of a reunite between them two. And maybe we see them go back for tag team titles, even though I don't think we should be getting that. We should get something maybe between them, or just some type of big match for them to do between now and Mania.
Yeah, I think Sami and Cody is a very good match. That could be your Elimination Chamber main event right there. Could be your WrestleMania main event, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, a great match, definitely. As far as just, match, just how the match went, I'll definitely say Cody versus Kevin Owens was match of the night. It was brutal. It was fun. It was exciting because there was moments where you did think Kevin was going to win because Cody was just getting battered throughout the whole night. Yeah, amazing match.
Yeah, definitely a match I might be looking to add to my matches of the year list as well for 2025. But let's get to the big one, the Men's Royal Rumble. Let's start from the beginning. We start off with Rey Mysterio and Penta. Really cool. Penta had a great performance. Kind of want to talk about him for a little bit. Yeah, just a great performance all around. Just lasted a long time. Got elimination. But yeah, what do you think about Penta so far?
Yeah, there was a lot of big face-offs here with Penta. A lot of face-offs as well. We'll get to it later with Jacob Fatu and whatnot. But Penta had a ton of stare-offs and little one-on-ones as they kind of enter the ring and whatnot, which was very exciting. Him and Ludwig have a potential kind of feud coming in. We've seen Ludwig make comments about him before the Rumble, then Penta eliminates him in the Rumble. So I would assume that'll be a match in the future. We get Otis coming in. Carmelo Hayes with a cool entrance as he comes in, just high-flying offense with a springboard right off the rip and everything. Braun Breaker, your IC champion, comes in. But your next one is Tozawa. He comes in, he's making his way to the ring, but Carmelo Hayes comes back after being eliminated, attacks Akira Tozawa, takes him out, and he's hurt. He can't make it anymore. The camera cuts to gorilla position to check in on Akira Tozawa. He can't make it. But who is right there behind Triple H?
So, a man who is invited to be streaming the event, a one ice show speed is in Gorilla, and is like, what do you mean? I can't do this. And he gets thrown to the wolves. He goes out and he eliminates, with the help of Braun Breaker, eliminates Otis, and then him and Braun Breaker are best friends. You know, and Ice Show Speed went to go on with the Royal Rumble. That's how I think that's what happened. I think that's what turned off. But no, after they eliminate Otis, Braun Breaker hits a nasty spear onto Ice Show Speed, kills him basically, and he throws him onto Otis. Otis catches him. There's a fall-away slam onto the announce table, officially eliminating him. But yeah, great spot and a great use of Ice Show Speed, using his athleticism, his just hops, I guess you can say. But yeah, really cool to see him get involved. Didn't take away from anybody. It's Akira Tozawa, who is a comedy character already. Might as well use him as a bigger comedy role.
Yeah, it was a really cool moment where after he gets his elimination, he does a big suey and the crowd does it with him. Very fun moment there. A missed moment, though, is Speed barking at Braun Breaker and Braun Breaker going back at him. I feel like that would have been a cool little face-off, few-second moment right there. That would have been a pretty cool moment. But moving on from there, we see Sheamus, we see Jimmy Uso, we see Andrade, and at this point, it's basically Chad Gable and all the luchadors in WWE kind of facing them, surrounding them. They trade super kicks on them, eventually, eliminating Chad Gable. But up next, coming out very hot, was Jacob Fatu throwing everyone over the top rope, gets 4 quick eliminations. But I will move along to the next big pop of the night, and that is, say his name, and he appears. Joe Hendry comes into the Royal Rumble. Just a massive pop. Everyone loved it. The song was getting sung. The turnaround was great. The face-offs. He caught Miz into like a gorilla press slam, throws him up. But yeah, really cool stuff from Joe Hendry. Doesn't get any eliminations, but just a very cool moment.
Yeah, I was definitely kind of worried about what the pop would be for him, because it's been a year since, he was really popular. It felt like a lot of his momentum died. TNA didn't put the world title on him. However, he finally gets the TNA world title, and he comes in with this match with the TNA world title, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm glad he got his moment. He does have a little face-off with Roman Reigns, so I'm sure TNA is loving that. I'm sure they'll be posting some of those clips on social media very, very soon. But yeah, I'm very happy for Joe Hendry to get his big moment. Then after Joe Hendry, like I said, we have Roman Reigns coming out right after them. Then Drew McIntyre comes out. And then we see our first big return in the Men's Royal Rumble, and that is AJ Styles at number 21. He comes out to a big pop, obviously, and it's also really nice to see him back in WWE.
Yeah, very nice to see him. We also got a returning Finn Balor, our U.S. champion Shinsuke Nakamura. But the huge spot of the night is Braun Strowman, surprisingly. He comes in, he kind of destroying everybody, knocking people out of the way, but he gorilla presses Jacob Fatu and just tosses him like he's a piece of paper. Literally, that man is just so freaking strong. Like, he literally picked up a 300-pound guy, potentially, at least somewhere around that range, maybe more even, I don't know. But he just gorilla presses him and throws him and just tosses him. Great elimination from Braun Strowman. Probably gonna get a continuation of their feud going forward. But our next kind of few entrance here is John Cena, which, you get a big kind of stare down with him and everybody and AJ Styles and everything. He gets a couple hits in. They're starting to slow the pace down a little bit. Then the music hits of CM Punk. CM Punk comes in. Now they're getting an even bigger stare down. Then whose music hits was Seth freaking Rollins. Now we have an even bigger stare down between Seth, Punk, Roman, and John freaking Cena. Just a huge moment. It felt like, alright, one of these guys are going on to win this thing. Up next, we have 30 Dominic Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Damian Priest, LA Knight at 29, and our final entrant in this year's Royal Rumble is Logan Paul. Comes out with a springboard, a lot of hot offense. But we're just gonna get straight into it. Now this is the big talking point. This is why you clicked on the video, majority of you at least. So we have Seth Rollins kind of holding on to Roman Reigns, kind of trying to toss him over the top rope. But who do we see in the background but CM Punk? And what does he do?
He eliminates both Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, getting them out the ring. Seth and Roman kind of glare up at each other, and then see the ugly smile on Phil, and they just lose their mind almost. And then the worst wrestler of all time, Logan Paul, comes and eliminates CM Punk as well. So at this point, your final three is Logan Paul, John Cena, and Jey Uso. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins just got eliminated, basically by Logan Paul. And at this point in the match, I'm kind of losing my stuff because, what do you mean? I mean, at this point, it has to be Cena. Of course, it has to be Cena.
Also, before we go too far, on the outside of the ring, we see a big scrap as Punk eliminated Roman and Seth. They're scrapping on the outside, and Seth hits this disgusting curb stomp onto Roman, where it looked like he had both of his feet on his head and just kind of planted him into the ground, and it looked legit. It looked like he actually did it. Maybe not because he seemed fine after, but on first watch, it definitely looked brutal. But they're scrapping. He's kind of taunting Paul Heyman, putting his finger in his face, does another stomp to him on top of the steel steps before him and Punk finally start scrapping, and they kind of get split up. Now I'll let you kind of finish off this outro of this.
Yeah, so like I said, Logan Paul, John Cena, and Jey Uso are your final three. John Cena gets Logan Paul on his shoulders. A super kick from Jey Uso onto Logan Paul knocks Logan Paul off John Cena's shoulders, and then John Cena gets the elimination onto Logan Paul. So now your final two is John Cena and Jey Uso. Two fan favorites, you know. We have John Cena, who's going for his 17th world title. And we have Jey Uso, who, you know, he's very popular, but let's be honest, not very good. He just lost to Gunther anyway. He doesn't need another title shot. And then we get to the apron. Both of them are scrapping. Cena goes for the AA, and then Jey Uso slips over the top back into the ring and pushes him off to eliminate John Cena to win the Royal Rumble. So Jey Uso is going to WrestleMania. We thought CM Punk was going to WrestleMania. We thought John Cena was going to WrestleMania. Roman Reigns.
And they specifically stated this time that he is going to main event. Didn't do that for the women, by the way. That wasn't part of the women's end screen of their thing. Maybe I missed it. It could have been there and I just missed it. But I didn't see that one. But on the men's, they said that he's main eventing WrestleMania 41. Now, obviously, there's two choices here. You can go Gunther or you go Cody. We've seen Gunther 4 times. You know your odds are simple. So my heart is telling me he's going Cody. But now, can he beat Cody? I don't know. AJ couldn't do it. Roman couldn't do it. I don't know, man. My first initial reaction was, okay, like, Jey Uso won. I get it. Yeet. But then I'm like, the more I'm kind of thinking about it and letting it kind of simmer inside of me, yeah, I'm not a fan at all of this decision. I would have rather Logan Paul win it, Roman win it, Seth, AJ. I would have rather Speed win it, Penta win it. Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest, this Royal Rumble, like we said in our prediction video, is the best Royal Rumble of all time on paper. And it was. Until the last 5 seconds, where Jey Uso eliminates John Cena and wins the Royal Rumble. And I get it, Jey Uso is arguably, or maybe not even arguable at this point, the biggest star in professional wrestling right now. He's having Travis Scott, one of the biggest rap artists in the world. He has Quavo. He's getting all this mainstream attention. It's very deserving, and I get that. But there is a huge list of people who are better at wrestling, can get the attention that Jey Uso can get, and we pick Jey Uso. And I'm not trying to, you know, make people hate Triple H and his booking and stuff like this, but if we had Jey Uso win this, I think there is a huge question needs to be asked on what is going on with those creative books. I don't like the decisions at all, if I'm being completely honest with this. Like you said, if it's Gunther, we've already seen it, and yeah, he's gonna win no matter what. I think. I really don't think Jey Uso is gonna lose. There's no reason. He hasn't held a world champion yet. He's gonna go to WrestleMania now. He can't lose. He's untouchable.
However, there is one thing though that I just kind of thought about that could save this, and that is the CM Punk favor. The CM Punk favor could change things. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but he said he wants the main event WrestleMania. Well, he's already out of night 2. Night 2's done. Assuming he picks Cody, obviously, night 2's done. It's gonna be Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes.
The only thing is, so if you have Jey Uso versus Gunther, let's kind of just break both our match options down. Jey Uso, Gunther. We've seen it too many times. Gunther has beat him enough times, and he probably wins that match. But the last match they just had was awful. No one liked that Saturday main event. If he goes against Cody, that's fine. There's a story there. They were best friends. They were tag team champions damn near, or they were actually. But do we want to see our two biggest baby faces go at it? I don't.
But also, will Cody even be a babyface by then? Because we've kind of seen teases, especially between him and Punk, which is kind of what led me to think of that just now about the favor, because we did see that segment with him and Punk recently, and then we just seen another segment with him and KO. So they kind of teased a little bit with a Cody and a Punk match. That could be a saving grace. I don't know how it would work in that situation. Like, does he just kick Jey Uso out of the main event for the favor? Can Paul Heyman get that done? I don't know.
The only thing I can think this favor is if Punk can say, "Hey, Paul, you have a good connection with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He's not gonna be in this Mania. I want his spot." But that's the thing. I don't want to see a triple threat between Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, and CM Punk. I don't want to see a triple threat with CM Punk, Jey Uso, and Gunther either. I'll rather see Punk and Cody, Punk and Gunther. There's a lot of different options they could have went with this, and I'm not trying to hate on James for too much because I get it. He is a fan favorite, and I have to understand that. But there's just so many better options that I just completely do not get what the thought process is. Obviously, in these next few weeks, we're going to know what's going to happen. I'm just disappointed because this was a phenomenal Royal Rumble on paper.
The whole thing, the whole match, the whole Royal Rumble was amazing. The entire thing. Literally. Even the moment of Logan Paul eliminating Punk, it kind of took your breath away because Punk just eliminated Roman and Seth. Mm-hmm. And so when Punk got eliminated, you were like, okay, Logan Paul, Cena, and Uso. During our watch along, you immediately went, alright, Cena's winning. I immediately went, Logan's winning. We were both wrong. But yeah, very, very interesting decisions here. I am kind of excited though, just to see what comes from this. Like, how does it happen? Who does he pick? Is Cody gonna be heel? There's so many questions surrounding this win that I almost am intrigued by it to see how are they gonna rectify this with the fans, because a lot of people are gonna be upset. It just is what it is. They will be upset, and I'm very curious how they're gonna try to kind of fix whatever the issue is that they think they can fix.
If Karrion Kross is a real GOAT, he will brainwash Jey Uso to give up his spot to Karrion Kross or anybody else, and I might be more interested. Like I said, I don't want to hate Jey Uso too much. It's just, there's a real argument now that he might be getting pushed too hard. And, you kind of mentioned this at one point. What if the fans start turning on him? We've seen this recipe before.
With Cena and Roman.
Yeah. We've seen it before. If you do the same thing a few times, you expect a different result. That's called insanity. That might be what this is. Jey Uso is just such a weird decision. Obviously, I want to give it time. Maybe. And I would love to. The perfect scenario now is me to be an absolute hater of what I am right now, and then by Mania time I am just dick sucking, and I'm just, oh my gosh, I love that Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble, and I look back in history saying, oh my gosh, thank God Jey Uso won Royal Rumble. But as of right now, I am on the complete opposite end, and I am very, very disappointed in what I've seen as the result.
Yeah, but I will say, amazing pay-per-view
Yeah.
overall. I do think with knowing what we know now,
Mhm.
I do wish the women main evented.
Yeah.
I wish Charlotte kind of got that moment for her big just kind of return, and Alexa Bliss and everybody, because it was very, just felt better. Yeah, it was just really good. I wish that one would have main evented, knowing the ending that we got in the men's. But you know, it is what it is. Jay Uso is going to WrestleMania. He is going to main event. At least that's what they said. I believe they said that for Bayley last year, and they definitely didn't give her a main event. But yeah, that is going to wrap up this video. We appreciate you guys for watching. Let us know what you think about Jay Uso being your Royal Rumble winner in 2025. But we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.